This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Hey everybody, it's Carm back at Vision 2025. We are having such a good time. We're meeting so many new people and also hanging out with some great friends of ours. Thank you so much to NAPA Tracks for sponsoring us to be here at Vision, the beautiful NAPA Tracks studio. NAPA Tracks will move your shop into the SMS fast lane, napatracks.com. Thank you so much, NAPA Tracks. We're here at Vision. The name of the show this year is License to Skill. God, the whole, James Bond theme. I absolutely love it. And we want to thank all of our great sponsors. Are you ready to roll out a training plan for your automotive shop? You ready to optimize? We'll use today's class in just 5 minutes daily, boost knowledge, retention, and improve team performance. Start seeing results today. Great gamification programs here to challenge all your people. Join your peers at todaysclass.com. Hey, we're back. I know this one guy here sitting over across the table to my left, Corey Ivaldi. And, every time I see you and every time you come on the show, I says, yeah, formerly from my town, Buffalo. Yeah. In fact, I just realized that your cell phone has the Buffalo area code.
Yeah.
Even though you're from Olmsted Falls, Cleveland, at Olmsted Auto. And thank you. You've been on the show so many great times. Always a great contributor. And we have a new guest, never been on the show before, Alan Garcia from A Plus Auto and Diesel in Syracuse, Kansas.
Hey, Carm. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Why the hell are these guys here? There is such a cool story. Please hang around and listen to why. This was unplanned, unprepared, weren't on the schedule. And yesterday, something really cool happened. Chris Cloutier and Craig O'Neill did an all-day class on communications. We had a chance to sit on it, and then we realized that later in that afternoon, they wanted to do kind of a Toastmasters role play because we have the remarkable results Toastmasters. So they asked Tracy to go up and be Madam President because she is in our current group, and she got voluntold to do it. And then I got voluntold to do the, what's it called? The educational minute. And I did that. And then they picked out 5 of the participants. There had to be, I'm guessing, maybe 80 people in the room.
Yeah.
At least 80.
It's close.
It was well attended. And they asked 5 people to raise their hands if they would come up and do a 5 to 7 minute speech. Normally, there's only just one in a normal hour-long Toastmasters. Alan and Corey were in that group of 5. And what we did is we put out a challenge to ask everyone in the class to vote who were the best top 2 and that we were going to do a podcast with them. So that's why Corey and Alan are here. And part of why they're here is the total uniqueness of the speeches that they gave. We want to cover that a little bit, but we really want to cover the power of communications. You guys referenced that in all that you talked about and how relationships affected your world and your lives. Of late, guys, so many classes that I've seen, so many graphics, so much stuff that's being written in newsletters, in groups that I belong to about communications and the transparency of it. And I've seen some incredible charts where communications is the center of everything that works inside the shop, front office, back office, and all this stuff, and client and back and forth. And if it fails in any way, then we're going off in a different direction, because we can interpret what people are saying without confirming what they said. Somebody says, well, it hurts over here. Exactly where is where? Where is there? Okay? And it's the old noise thing. My car makes this noise. Okay, great. And you send it back to the shop, and the specialist in the back of the shop says, noise, where, how, when, morning, day, night, who's in the car? All those things that happen. It's not just simple anymore, is it?
No.
Corey, Alan, you guys were the 2 winners. And here's the beauty. Listener, you've got to appreciate this. Corey was the 5th person. You were the last one. And Corey gets up and says, all the 4 previous ones stole everything I wanted to say.
100% they did. All of my lists got just checked off as they were going.
I want to talk about this. And somebody went up and talked about first responders. It was an unbelievable show of emotion. We heard that. Alan, we heard that in your story of, cleaning the toilets in the shop. Corey gets up and he says, he's 100% right. It's my leadership secret.
Yes.
He says, you stole that from me. Alan, when, you talked about working at a local shop and, you clean toilets, And I love your story about playing guitar and going to church. You'd never been to church. And it's so unique and genuine. And you've probably never gotten up in front of 80 people and told your story.
Yeah. And not like that. It was really interesting to think of a topic to talk about. And what I was trying to display was how important it is. And Corey picked up on it, maybe even more than I did, to lead by example. And I think that's something important we can do in our shops is, I'm not too good to push a broom, and it is a little bit gratifying to know that I own the place that I used to clean the toilets for. So I thought it was a fun time to share that with everybody.
And you're a toilet guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the owner of my shop, but I am not too egotistic or prideful to get down and dirty and clean the toilets. Even the way that I described on how, I guess, the level of cleanliness was, I said my Ukrainian mother would approve of it.
Yeah.
Like growing up, she was a tough cookie.
Yeah.
But this presentation that we had to do, I think what I got out of it the most is when we communicate, we realize on how much similarities there are between us all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what happens in shops too. The lack of communication or miscommunication. We don't give each other ample time to understand one another.
We got to talk about toilets for just a moment.
Absolutely. I hear they spin a different direction in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, they
Is
do.
that true?
Yeah, I think they go counterclockwise. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
I got to see that.
Yeah,
Me too.
All right. Well, then you need to go to Brazil. Hi, Carm. I'm in Brazil.
And guess what? The toilet does spin the other way.
Too funny. The thing about the leadership moment of doing the toilets, does anyone say, I got it today, Corey?
Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, if I'm busy, next thing I know, somebody else is in there doing it. And I thank them. I'm like, thank you for doing that and taking it off my plate today.
I mean, you're out there, you're traveling, you're going to conferences and events. Who's cleaning the toilets at the shop?
One of the service consultants.
Because they know it needs to get done.
Absolutely.
And every single time I hear people tell the story about my mom or my grandma, when my grandma want to go into my bathroom, the next thing that I'm really big on is if you're going to do it for your client, you got to do it for your people in the back.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the back have to have the same amenities that you're doing for your client.
Absolutely.
And if they don't, then I'm sorry, it's a misstep.
Mm-hmm. For sure. They need to know you care, for sure.
Well, and you value them just as much as you do your clients, right? I mean, we're in a relationship business, whether that's with your team members, your vendors, or your clients. Communication and that relationship building has to happen.
Yeah.
That
So
was
why am I
something-
going to value one over the other? Sorry.
Corey. That was something that I saw yesterday, and you were leading into that, is that there was a lot of vulnerability in what we were talking about yesterday, and we saw people stepping outside of their comfort zones, but we gave everybody the courtesy to listen to them. And I think that's something we don't always do, especially as shop owners, is listen to our people.
You are so right. Everyone in that room had to pay attention because they had to have a vote. But also, you all said great things. And they probably said, thank God it's not me up there.
They also gave jobs to other people to count the ums, the uhs, the so's, the timers.
There was a Grammarly,
everything.
a grammar expert. Yeah. So in Toastmasters, there's probably 10 different roles that people step up to play, and they all get a chance to be heard based on certain judgment calls that they make about how well speeches were done and how many ums and ahs and so's happen. I have a theory on that. I won't go into it right now. So we're talking about toilets. It's so important. Listen to a consumer like Tracy talk about, I have to hear about it. Dad, I'll never go to that restaurant ever again. And you should actually go to the bathroom before you order, not after. So you can see how clean the kitchen is based on, never mind. But yeah, everyone was very vulnerable. And in fact, you talked about being nervous up on the stage.
I was actually extremely nervous going up there, and I didn't think I was going to be, but I played it out in my mind a little bit because we were supposed to have transitions between points. I love following the Toastmasters theme, or maybe it was a theme Craig and Chris had set up. We were supposed to have intro points and then a conclusion, and then we had to transition between those. When I felt myself get extremely nervous up there towards the end of my intro, I thought, hey, what a great time to talk about another time that I was nervous in my past, which was actually one of my main points, or one of the points to the story. So it was kind of fun. It
was about your wife.
It was honestly a blur is what it was. I would like to go back and watch it. I need to get a hold of those guys and see if I can get that video footage, because
It was great.
I don't remember any of it.
I'm telling you, it was great. The whole volleyball story.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then before the mics turned on, he told me even more of the story.
Yeah.
It's great. And your wife was with you in the room.
Yeah. No. So yeah, she was like, I didn't expect that. She kept trying to look at my computers. I typed a few notes ahead of time, and I kind of wiggle it away from her so she couldn't see. She's like, I'm not peeking at your notes. But I thought it would be fun because I had a lot of different ideas, and she was there. And what wife doesn't like you to give her a little word of encouragement? And we have such great chemistry and a good story. But I'll say it this way, that I fell for her, but she fell on me, and that was the volleyball story.
Oh my God, what a great it was a great story. And I found out that on the first time you asked your wife to go out, she said no, and you didn't give up.
Yes. And that aspect of perseverance, plays out so many times in our lives. And same in communication, we say something, but we also need to be persistent in listening. But as far as my wife, yeah, she said no when I asked her out, even though I was sure she was going to say yes. I mean, why wouldn't she say yes? And so, yeah, just a natural guy thing, right?
Why
wouldn't? Of course.
It's me you're saying no to. Are you sure of this?
Did you hear the question right? I mean, come on.
Oh, that's too funny.
Let's face it, your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax was built from the ground up to make your business more profitable and efficient. We provide an extensive set of tools to increase and track profitability in real time. NAPA Trax offers the industry's best post-sale support, hands down, and we train your people on site. Yep, on site. And we offer remote refresher training 10 times a week, and customer support is open 6 days a week. Give us a call, visit the website, or join our Facebook community today to learn more. We'll prove to you that Trax is the single best shop management system in the business. NAPA Trax is always customized and tailored for you, whether you're a one-man shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice. Visit us on the web at NAPATRAX, that's NAPATRACS.com. Strengthen your shop's entire team with today's class. Everyone from technicians to service advisors can access impactful training on their phones in just 5 minutes a day. Opt for solo sessions or ignite friendly competition, challenging team members to climb the leaderboard for the highest score. Our effective daily training ensures measurable progress, helping you develop your team. Train smarter, not harder, with today's class and transform your shop and your people. Start seeing results today at todaysclass.com.
So Corey gets up, he's the fifth speaker, and he gets up there and honestly says, you all stole everything I was going to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
and he's literally got a piece of paper up there with first responders, toilets, all that. It's all written down.
Well, it was the way that I tied it all together. I wanted to talk about family. I wanted to talk about, my most recent religion journey. I wanted to talk about leadership. And each one of these guests that were up there speaking touched on my points, and I'm like, I can relate to all of their stories.
Yeah. And so the brilliance of Corey in figuring this up, he says, you all stole my stuff, so let's go back and talk about it. So he was almost, without being the summary speaker, he was the summary speaker.
Yeah. It was amazing.
And he brought everything back to the top. He took the greatest points from the four previous speakers, and you tied a bow on it.
Yeah. Well, that's how I related to it. And that's why I think listening is the most effective part of communicating.
Yeah.
Let's hear other people's stories, because truth be told, we're a lot similar than we would have ever known if and not heard your story.
100%. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
And you're right about listening. We listen we can quickly reply to someone. We don't listen to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And part of my job is that I have to cling on every word you say, even though in the back of my mind, I want to move the episode forward. I have all these points that I want to cover. But if I didn't care about the things that you said, we'd have a superficial kind of podcast. There would be no learning going on with it.
Absolutely.
the first responder thing. Tell us about that.
Well, that was Jesse that was up there and talking about his experience with saving his neighbor and being there to help save a life. And there was nothing better about that.
Very emotional.
Well, that got into like my family. And as he's talking, I'm thinking of my brother, Brian, who, is a first responder, and he had eventually become chief of a volunteer fire station in Hamburg, Newton Abbott.
Okay. Wow.
You're probably familiar with it.
Absolutely.
So I remember being a kid. I was young. I was in 9th grade when 9/11 happened. And here's my older brother going to go help the survivors and the destruction down there and going to help people. Like, he's so courageous running towards the dangers. Mm-hmm. And when Jesse was telling me his story about the bravery and the timeliness of all these first responders, that's all I thought about. Like, I wanted to talk about my family, like more immediate, like my kids, my wife and stuff like that. But my brother came to my mind, and I'm like, that's still my family. Like, just the way that it all related.
He inspired you. He inspired
did.
you. Yeah.
I think he inspired everybody in the room. It was, so my wife, I don't know if she raised her hand, but she was a EMT.
Yeah.
And so we had some discussions afterwards about just hearing that some of the things she had been to on scene. And I mean, through 9/11, through different situations in life, that we all know a lot of people that have been touched by somebody who is a first responder or in that world, in that realm of helping people when they're at their worst, really.
Well, and I think listening to them and listening to their stories and how you kind of learn how to relate to them and then like get a glimpse of it through their eyes. And like, I know what they're going through. I know the passion that they have. I can imagine that experience that he had, or, somebody that touched your life in that way. And
when you open your mouth, you have no idea. I mean, everyone has a story. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a story, and they have stories going on right now in their life that sometimes they share, sometimes they don't. And a lot of times they take the experiences that are going on around them and they say, yeah, there's a solution here. Yeah. And here's Corey sitting in there saying, wow, my brother with this and all these great experiences. And, oh my God, Alan, clean toilets. I got to go talk to him about that.
No.
And I'm not trying to.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Like, that was when he talked about cleaning. I'm like, that's leadership.
Yeah. And number 2, it was John who came up there. And what was your response about John?
I wanted to talk about building relationships. I wanted to talk about, parts of our business, and it's a relationship business. And he had that very empathetic story about getting to know his client that he wasn't able to serve that day, but he got to sit down with his client who was upset at the time, listen to his story, learn about the passing of his wife, learn about his battle with cancer. The connection that he made with that client was so relatable.
Yeah, it was. He was failing miserably in all the promised times and having the right key. It was about keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wanted to sit down with the guy and tell him he's very, very sorry, but they ended up talking about him, the client, finding out all the bad things that happened in his life over recent times. And I think he said he prayed with him, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
So many times people do. They want to know that you care, and you're right. Our business is a relationship business, and whether it's us and our coworkers, our employees, or our clients, I mean, people just want to know that you care about them. Mm-hmm.
Our third speaker was Keith. Do things the hard way. Easy jobs is the American way. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And it was just, I'm sorry, you just can't get off that easy, right?
Right.
Don't be comfortable. He was a mobile tech, and he closed his shop for Vision to come. That's becoming a bigger and bigger theme. We just got to go. We got to get there. We got to train. Mm-hmm. We got to educate.
Well, it's so valuable with coming to Chris and Craig's class yesterday. We do the same thing, and I had 8 people there yesterday, and I had seen a lot of their information. I'd been to one of their classes before, and that we actually talked about a little bit afterwards. It doesn't make sense if I just go, because then I'm fired up about communicating and listening. It's useful, but what's extremely useful is when I get 3 of my better techs in there, and 2 of my advisors and 1 of the other owners in there. And then we're all on that same page of, oh, when you speak, I'm actually supposed to listen to you without intention of what I want to say next. And so it's so powerful. And I think one of the techs that was there, he has a lot of anxiety. And he said afterwards, he's like, I about cried when I got done doing my intro because Craig came over and was listening to me. And I was like, yeah, but you did it. Like, good for you that you did it. I heard you because he was in the row behind me. You did it, man. Great job. And you could tell, he was a little bit proud of himself. And he's like, I could never get up in front of everybody and do the rest of it. And so, well, there's always next year. I mean, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
You had 8 of your people in that class?
8 people, yes.
In that class?
Yeah.
You guys are going to go on fire for being better communicators.
I hope so. That'd be amazing.
Are you kidding me?
That's great. Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. I took that class. I know exactly how you're smiling. I know the answer is going to be yes. High fives, big high fives, commend you to have all those people in one similar class. And he's so right, Corey. You go to training and come back. You got a sell job. You don't want to tell your people, hey, I got this great new idea. Let's do this. But you need to formulate any changes you want to bring back to your business because of the education that you received, be it technical or be it business management. It reminds me of an owner sending a service advisor to training. And they come back after a 2.5-day incredible seminar. And they've got all these great ideas, different scripting ideas and confidence built. And they start doing the things that they were trained to do. And the owner walks by and says, what are you doing? He says, we don't do that stuff here. Sorry. They just wasted all their money.
Yep.
If you don't go with them to learn along the same lines, it maybe not in the technology area on how to do diagnostics, but if we're in this communications relatable to people and how we are viewed by the motoring public, you have to go and say, we love that, we're going to do this. And if not, you bring that person back, give me a download, spend an hour with me, let me see your notes, tell me what you think we should do, and then you work together to implement those things, especially if you're not going to go to that class.
And I think it's also energy. Coming to this stuff brings an energy.
For sure.
It sure
so
does.
you've got 8 people now that have recharged their batteries and are ready to go back and implement new ideas. And it's exciting.
For sure. Yeah.
Did you see the energy in the Sheraton bar last night? I didn't. So, did you bring anybody with you?
Yes, I brought one of my technicians with me.
What'd they say at breakfast this morning? Or what did he say?
He had sensory overload. And again, I told him about the elephant. You take one bite out of it.
Yeah.
And this is also something that you continuously do.
Yeah.
You don't go to one training and that's it. In our careers, in our industry, you don't just do your vocational school, enter the field, and that's it. You have to continuously educate yourself. You have to continuously go to the trainings. I like going because I always love to learn, but I also like that recharge. I like the energy. I like seeing the people in our industry that really care.
One of our things at our shop, just tailing off, that is one of our values is growth-minded critical thinker. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you need to grow. If you're either growing or dying is what they always say. So as leaders, whether we're being consistent in cleaning that toilet or whether we're coming here to get fired up about how to speak better or manage better or how to make the shop more profitable or how to serve our clients better, we're growing and it's contagious to our employees. So if they get fired up about the technical skills or the advisor skills that they learned, we can all come back, like you said, and just really start to come together with those cumulative ideas and implement it.
Powerful, powerful stuff.
It's exciting. I'm kind of getting excited just talking about it here.
See?
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
good
it.
stuff.
So well said. There's the marquee for the whole episode right there. I just love that. One of the things that you said, Corey, was to get out of your comfort zone where cool shit happens. Describe that.
Well, I mean, it's throughout my life, I've seen that meme many times. You got the circle, and then it says your comfort zone, and then there's another smaller circle further away, and it says where cool
shit happens.
Right? I have always tried to push myself because I know once I'm getting uncomfortable with something, that's my opportunity for growth. So I have to force myself to do it.
It's a tough place to be. Nobody likes to be uncomfortable, but here we are. doing something uncomfortable.
But comfort zone means you're getting lazy, and you somewhere along the lines, you need to figure out a way to push yourself to go to a new level, a new zone, a new opportunity, a new concept. I mean, you could sit down and look at your KPIs and realize I'm failing in one particular area. That means you got to get out of your comfort zone.
And the things we're comfortable with today, the more we exercise that muscle, whatever it is, just like going to the gym, they're going to feel like nothing tomorrow as we continue to grow.
Absolutely. Comfort zone. I love that. I think pretty much we've covered all your great topics that I think you each covered. I just thought it was a brilliant move yesterday to do if you will, a simulation on a Toastmasters and bring some discipline into how our Toastmasters are structured. But at the same time, we had to come up and do an interview, so we didn't hear how many ums and ahs. Tell me about that.
I got second place. Corey had the best speech.
Okay.
And I got first place in the ums. I had 14 ums. But I heard President Obama, when he was in office, had way more ums than I did, so I didn't feel quite as bad.
Yeah, he was an ummer.
Yeah, and still an effective communicator, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, I think when he ummed, his face, he had a lot of facial. You hear people, but you also look at them.
For sure.
And sometimes you can forgive some of the ums depending on how their body moves.
Obama also did the hand gesture that they talked about in that class.
Yeah, there were a lot of hands going on. I know.
It was a fun class. It was. I'm glad we were a part of it, and it was good to meet Corey there.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. New friends.
I voted for Alan for best speech.
I voted for Corey, so.
Okay, truth be told, see, getting the stories out. I love this. Thank you for this. Thank you to the listener for hanging in there and getting a piece of the power of communications and the transparency that's necessary. And that we have stories to tell them. In fact, in huddles, maybe we can do this in our shops today. It says, tell me something happened yesterday. Tell me something that's going on in your world, in your life that you're willing to share with people. Got a story of when you were small, young, kindergarten. You remember your first Halloween. These are all great things to get people to talk about.
Mm-hmm. That's how you bring people together.
Ask me about my first grade Halloween.
I want to know about your first grade Halloween.
Well, we were all in school. We were all sitting down in these costumes. Can you imagine? I remember this like it was yesterday.
I'm impressed.
The teacher is going through guessing who every student was behind. Of course, we're first grade. We think that, we're going to really fox the teacher. The teacher knows where you're sitting, what class how you dress. The teacher knows who you are. And they're playing this game of who everyone is. They go through the entire class. She guesses everyone. They take off their mask. I'm the last one. And she goes, I just can't figure out who this could be. And Carm was sitting there dressed as Snow White. And I nailed it. I had the best costume. I fooled the teacher. Of course, who else could it be but Carm? Right? Yeah. But I didn't. I thought I'll never forget the moment that I took off my mask and she goes, oh my God, it's Carm. It was emblazoned in my mind for all these years, and those are precious moments that we can create for our people.
Stories are valuable. That was something they touched bases on.
Stories are
valuable.
So important, so relatable. It gets the message across a lot more efficiently. People remember the stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And the message behind them.
Mm-hmm. That's what we try to do here, storytellers. Alan Garcia, A+ Auto and Diesel, Syracuse, Kansas. Corey Evaldi, Olmsted Auto and Olmsted Asphalt. Thank you guys. Congratulations on your big wins yesterday. You got big trophies. I'm sure they're coming in the mail, right?
For sure.
Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Oh, thank you, Carm.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.